Saidy Brown tested positive for HIV when she was 14 years old. At the age of 18, she wrote a letter to her condition, and she has since used her status to educate other people about HIV using social media. Let's take a listen to this video from the Begisisa website.
My name is Saidy Brown. I am a 24-year-old young person living with HIV. My parents both died from AIDS-related illnesses. So I was 14 years old when I found out about my HIV status. When my parents passed, I was too young to understand things. Now I'm all grown and have recently learned that you are the reason I now feel robbed. Because of you, I'm an orphan. Because of you, I'm all alone. I remember the first thing I said after being told that I had tested positive for HIV was, "But I'm just 14, I didn't do anything." I'm experiencing so many emotions all at once. All that is happening is just too much. I don't know if to my life you're a curse or a punishment. I've tried so much to live by the book. I've tried so much to behave, and yet you still managed to get me. When I reached 18, my health had deteriorated because I was not even on treatment. I started getting sores around my neck and my chest, and as soon as the sores started moving up to my face, obviously I was now 18 and I started dating, so I wanted to look pretty. My confidence is tainted because of you.
Now, Saidy Brown joins us ahead of World AIDS Day, and the theme, of course, is what it should mean to everyone. Saidy joins us now on the line. Saidy, good evening, and thank you very much for your time. At age 14, how did you discover your status, and that process of discovering, what does it tell you about our processes in South Africa of assisting young ones particularly to learn about this disease and about their status?
Thank you so much for having me. Good evening. Finding out about my HIV status at the age of 14 at a school trip in the way that I found out, honestly, I honestly did not get any pre-test counseling. I did not get any form of information beforehand. So to do that to a 14-year-old goes to show just how backward we were as a country with regards to HIV. And I believe that we are still so stigmatized as people who are living with HIV. People don't really take living with HIV as seriously as it needs to be taken. You find people who still say things like, just get over it. We understand there are more illnesses that are more dangerous than HIV, you know. Yeah. So I do believe we are not really making we're not taking the most precautionary measures that we need to do.
Yeah. You happen to have been at a school camp, and this opportunity for testing was made available, and of course you took that opportunity. But would you say, looking back 7 years later today, those opportunities for testing are more available now to young people than they were before?
I would like to believe that now there are more open opportunities for young people to test. I also do believe that in as much as HIV is still very stigmatized against even now, but things are a bit better because we do still speak out on things like this, like living with HIV. So things are a bit better now. Back when I was 14, no one would even dare try to speak up on things like this. And as a young person, I honestly needed someone like myself who would literally just say, "I am living with HIV and it's fine to live with HIV. There's nothing wrong with you."
Now, you disclosed in 2013 and you chose social media, you chose Facebook to go and write there. Why did you feel that would have been an easier platform for you to disclose? And were there any inhibitions that probably would have stopped you from having a one-on-one with family or any other person to disclose your status?
So as an 18-year-old, I didn't
I knew I wanted to disclose public. I knew that I wanted to tell the world that I was living with HIV, and it didn't define me, and it didn't mean now that my life had to end. And because I come from a really remote township in the Northwest Province and really wanted to speak out, I knew that social media was like my best bet. Also, as an 18-year-old, I didn't really have much resources, and because I was always on Facebook anyway, I was just like, you know what, this is where I'm going to start, and this is what and that's exactly what I did. My family has always been supportive of me and my journey with HIV. I also am very fortunate in the sense that even my friends are quite supportive of my journey with HIV. So I also do recognize my privilege, and I do understand the importance of a solid support system.
Now, you are a young person in your mid-20s. You're an activist in this particular space. Are you happy with the information and the accuracy and the quality of information around HIV and AIDS that is now available?
I'm happy with the conversations that are currently taking place with regards to HIV. I'm quite glad that from 7 years ago until now, I literally can see improvement. Now there literally are so many other activists who can still say, listen, we are living with HIV and there's so much life even when we are living with HIV. Now we have open conversations about why we need to take these ARVs. Back then, we didn't even know why we needed to take these ARVs. We were just, these are pills that will help you manage this HIV, but they will also make you sick because they have side effects. So in as much as you want to get on treatment, you would also be quite scared of the effects. So now there are like those open conversations of HIV about U equals U, which is undetectable equals untransmissible, which means that if your viral load is suppressed, you cannot sexually infect other people with HIV. And these are important conversations that we need to keep on having.
Yeah. All in all, for you, I mean, if you were to sum it up, living with HIV in South Africa, how have you found that experience?
I have the experience to be quite fulfilling. Honestly, it has made me feel like my journey has been quite fulfilling, because it would have really made me quite despaired, right? If I were to still see the challenge that I faced 11 years ago, still have people who go through those things even today.
All right, I appreciate your time. Saidy Brown, thank you very much for joining us as HIV activist there. Saidy Brown sharing her journey and her story ahead of World AIDS Day. We'll be continuing, of course, to share those stories here on Newzroom Afrika, channel 405.